In this video we're going to be taking the brand new Saucony Endorphin Pro 5 along to a race to see how they perform. So welcome everybody to our race review, let's call it, of the Saucony. I've got them here. It's the new Saucony Endorphin Pro 5. I'm very lucky I got this shoe nice and early before its release in February 2026. But as always on this channel, I like to take race shoes into races, so that's what we're going to base this review on. Now, before we get into the race element of this video, we are going to talk about what's new here on the Saucony Pro 5. And I actually want to give this shoe a bit of a special mention because I think for some of you, this is going to be an excellent shoe. I can already feel this is going to be a brilliant shoe in 2026 for one or two certain types of runners. And we'll get into that before we head over to Hatfield for this race. Okay, so like I said, I've been fortunate to get this shoe nice and early, and I've had the opportunity to already go out in the shoe. So let's get into the stats and features and dive into what's new here versus the previous version. So the Saucony Endorphin Pro 5 is a racing shoe from the guys from Saucony and the Endorphin lineup. This shoe launches in the UK on the 1st of February. It once again features the Power Run PB and Power Run HG foam dual setup. The big news with the shoe is we've got a new upgraded slotted carbon plate which works better with that dual foam setup that I just mentioned. We've got a new Power Track rubber outsole, and I'll show you that. We've got a refined speed roll geometry, and that's to help you in that heel to toe transition. The shoe is coming in with a 39.5mm stack in the heel down to 31.5mm in the front, so that's an 8mm drop. This shoe weighs 237 grams in my UK 9.5 and fits true to size. In terms of pricing, I don't have an official UK price at the moment. What I can tell you is that the US version is $225, so it looks bang in line with the previous model. The last thing worth mentioning is we've got this lovely mesh up on the shoe, and I also think it looks cracking. Let's take a closer look. So here's our mesh upper, which is really nice. Saucony always do a great job in terms of their uppers. And also, the other thing I want to say about Saucony is they always do banging colourways. Let me know in the comments if you think this colourway is unbelievable, because I do. Here's an interesting thing. Look at this. Come on, camera. This is built up on the side here and here, and I'm going to talk about this in just a bit. Like I said, we've got Power Run HG and Power Run PB foam in here. There's our new slotted carbon plate. This is our Power Track outsole, and I can confirm it's absolutely fine in the rain. All the runs I've done so far in this shoe have been wet. It fits true to size in my UK 9.5, like I said. I really want to show you the width of this shoe because, again, I'm going to come on to that in an important point in just a minute. Speed roll technology, like I mentioned in the shoe, that's all about that heel to toe transition, and it helps you move with everything we've got going on here, the dual foam setup and the slotted carbon plate. Lockdown's great, nice tongue in here, feels racy, which is what you want. You get all the good stuff from the previous model in here. And another mention for the way this shoe looks. I think it looks unbelievable in this colourway. Okay, so the plan is with this shoe, we're going to go and race. We've got the Hatfield 5, which I'm going to film this shoe at. We're going to see how we go. We're going to see what we've got in the tank. Not sure. We're going to try and run it at that 10k pace. May try and dip a little bit under there, but it'll give a real good showing of where this shoe is at and how this shoe is feeling. So that's to come, okay? But what I do want to talk about now is how this appeals, I think, to two people straight away that I can think of. Now, I loved version 4. I thought version 4 was an excellent shoe for normal people, normal runners who are doing marathons, races and things like that. And this very much carries on from that. It really, really does. And what's straight out of the box noticeable, again, with this shoe is how forgiving it is. And what they've done by building up these side walls here, and you can feel them, by the way, as you sit in the shoe, but look at that inherent stability from the width. Now, this foam in here is not overly soft. So what I think Saucony have done, and I'm not sure whether they've done it deliberately, but they've created a racing shoe here for anybody who has mild stability needs. Now, previously on this channel, I've sent you all to the New Balance SC Elite version 4, but that shoe's now discontinued. I think this shoe, for anybody who is looking for a stable carbon-plated racing shoe, this is going to be the one to get. Now, after tomorrow's run, I'm going to give you the feedback on what this is like in those race conditions, really leaning on it. But I've done a gold pace run in this, marathon gold pace run, and the shoe was excellent. It was stable, it was comfortable, and it was on point. And it was actually better than I was thinking it was going to be. Now, that might sound a funny thing to say, and let me explain that. I kind of forgot how good the Saucony Endorphin Pro is as a running shoe, because I got sort of sidetracked by Adidas Pro 4s and all the other shoes that I've been running in on this channel, the Asics shoes and things like that. I kind of forgot about this shoe, and it's a shame really, because I ran Berlin Marathon in a pair. I can't remember what version of this shoe. And it's excellent. And it's actually brought it back into my mind how as a running shoe for normal people, for everyday runners, for you bigger dudes and dudesses, and that's the other people I'm thinking about for this shoe. For anybody, as I said, who mildly slightly pronates, I think immediately out of the box, this shoe feels stable and controlled versus some of the other shoes that are out there. And that comes from this setup that they've got here with the width and this foam that's not overly soft, these slightly higher sidewalls that they've actually put into this shoe. This is a very forgiving shoe, and that's the overriding sensation straight out of the box. So this is reminding me again of how good this Pro Series is. So we're going to now take this along to that race, and I'm going to report back. So let's go and have some fun with this shoe. Let's see what it's like in anger. Let's see if let's see how it performs in those faster paces, and see what comes out the other end. So hold tight. Let's show some awesome B-roll of me running really, really fast around the Hatfield 5, which is organised by the amazing guys at ATW Events. Make sure you check them out because they do a load of cool local events. But yes, we're going to go and race this. I'll see you guys once I'm back here after we've done that. Okay team, so we're showered and back, and yes, well, I enjoyed that. In terms of my own performance, I would say I was probably about a 7 out of 10. The 5 mile distance is actually quite hard. 10k, you can't, I don't know why it makes not much difference, but it's only a mile more. But sort of 10k, you pace it a little bit, but with a 5k, you go all out. So I was kind of stuck between the two. So anyway, I wouldn't rate my performance particularly good, but what I would rate is that this shoe is excellent. So firstly, I'm going to give it massive kudos because the roads were still very wet and very dirty from yesterday's downpour. And the shoe, this new outsole, was phenomenal. The shoe again reminded me how good it is. It feels great at those paces. It feels nice and light. The speed roll technology works great. The foams in here are everything you'd need from a sort of super shoe, kinda. I wouldn't necessarily rate this as a super shoe versus some of the others out there. That may seem a bit harsh, but this is a very, very good racing shoe for normal people. But yeah, the foam works well, the plate's good enough in terms of like, it's not overly aggressive, but you can really get on it and get after it. The stability is brilliant in this shoe. Again, just going back to what I think I said yesterday, can't remember what I said, but I think I mentioned about the stability. And it's really on point. This is a really friendly place to be in terms of a racing shoe for people who mildly pronate, or like I said, slightly bigger people. You're going to absolutely love this shoe. And I don't know whether Saucony have done that intentionally or not, but we've now got a stability racing shoe. I didn't want to say that really, but we kind of have. I think this is going to appeal to even more people than the 4th version. So they've done a great job here with what we've got. And I think, again, just to remind everybody that this shoe is out there. This shoe is there for everyday runners. You don't necessarily need to be chasing after, you know, the Asics shoes or the Alpha Flies and things like this. If, you know, you're just an everyday runner, you're trying to do these like endurance distances, I know, marathon, half marathons, things like that, this is a very capable and very forgiving racing shoe. But at the same time, it performs well under pressure. Today, right, we wasn't hanging about. The shoe gave me what I needed it. Yeah, so we've got to give it even more kudos. I think it's still like, look, we've got to give it even more kudos than I probably, you know, give it. And, you know, you might say, oh, you know, in terms of the stability, does that mean it's slow and all that sort of stuff? No, this feels lightweight on foot. It feels fast, all that sort of stuff that you want from a race day shoe. They really have got a really good package here for us everyday runners. So going into 2026, this is straight away going to be up there for the pick for people who are, I don't know, training for the Brighton Marathon, London Marathon, whatever. This is going to be on your list of shoes to try, okay? This is one I think, as I said, if you're just a normal person like me, trying to get fast, or trying to get these distances done, this is a very forgiving shoe and you're going to run very fast in this. So well done, Saucony. I think you've nailed it. Firstly, I think it just looks brilliant. And again, look how good this shoe looks in this colourway. But you've nailed it. I don't know whether you nailed it deliberately in terms of this sort of stability where you've increased this up there and the way the foam works and all that sort of stuff. But you've nailed it. This is a really good racing shoe for normal people, for people who mildly pronate as well. And I think for anybody who's slightly bigger, this is a shoe that's going to work as well. So this is our new SC Elite version 4 on the channel, is what I'd say. This is how I feel about the shoe, and hopefully that gives you some reference points in terms of how I'm feeling. But again, look at the splits today. Go over to my Strava and look at the splits today. I wasn't hanging about, right? And this shoe comfortably took everything that I threw at it. So there we go, boys and girls. That's it. That's the Pro 5. As I said, out in February, I think, over here. Make sure you go and check that out at sportshoes.com. You're going to get 15% off at sportshoes.com off your running shoes if you're a 40 Runs affiliated club member. There's a million benefits to be a club member at 40 Runs, but one of them is that 15% discount over at sportshoes.com, so make sure you check that out. But that's it from me, team. Let me know in the comments whether you're going to be grabbing the Pro 5 in the new year. I'd be super interested to know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next video.